All right, brother. So Monday, we're gonna keep that same chest, try, ab, the Chinese warm up. Remember, it was the jumps, and then single arms, and then rotating. Make sure you're keeping that head still, and then double arm swings, and then the golf swings, and then that slap. And that slap, I like to hit upper thigh, then hit the knees for a little while, then hit the calves. I actually just saw a lady doing it the other day. I know it's not like the coolest thing, but I think it works well. Dumbbell flat bench, 6x3 progressive load. I said heavy. Watch that shoulder. Keep those lats engaged, right? And then you're going to superset with those leg lifts. So that flat bench just dropping down on the bench and then just doing those leg lifts up and down. Then incline dumbbell rotational press. It's like I spelled that wrong, left out an O. You're on that incline bench, knuckles forward. You're gonna press knuckles back. So it looks like this on that press. We might have done those before. I've been doing those a lot lately. I like the rotation. That's by itself. And then we're gonna go to decline dumbbell flies, decline dumbbell fly set. And then whatever weight you use for that, you're gonna drop those weights, you're gonna keep one, and then on that decline bench, you're just gonna use that weight and you're just gonna sit up with the weight here like this and then coming back down. So keep those arms long and big reaches up. So progressive load on that, you can go progressive on the sit-ups as well, just kind of following whatever weight you have. And then tricep push downs with the V bar, with that slanted bar with kind of like the ends on it. Progressive, but staying light to keep the reps up above 10. And then rope tricep overhead extensions. And then you're going to superset that, bringing that rope around to the chest with those crunches coming down. And then on the finisher, just crunch like this, elbows to knees, times 10, and then flipping it over, kneeled push-ups. So remember on those kneeled push-ups, elbows are tight to the body here, more like a tricep push-up. Just flip-flopping on those, just rip those through, 4 sets times 10 on each. Then we got leg day. Treadmill, AMRAP is backward steps times 20. I kind of lock down on that treadmill, holding on to the arms right here like this, and I'm stepping and I'm pushing away just on that one speed, and then flip it around, holding on, and alternating lunges times 10. So I think I got 4 minutes on that. So this nice smooth pace, Zercher squats. I don't know if we've done them, but I've been wanting to get you squatting, but that position with the shoulders not ever been favorable. I've been doing Zercher squats for a while. I think that's why I got a hernia. So it could be a good move to get a belt. I'm just gonna demo with this Owens bar. You're gonna load the weight, so get on a rack and have the bar sitting here about here. You're gonna get your elbow set right here, just like this, and you're gonna hold. So sometimes it's a little sensitive in the creases, but it's not too bad. You can wear a hoodie just to kind of get used to it. Get your stance here, and then if you're coming down here where your elbows are touching your thighs, that's a pretty good depth right there, okay? So it causes you to engage a lot of upper body and your core. So, like I said, a belt wouldn't hurt. This is my Rogue belt. I've had this thing for like 5 years. You know, just a little Velcro, cheapy, $30 probably. You could probably even pick one up at Dick's. But just to keep a little core tension in there. So on those 5x8, you know, trying to, you know, stay lighter just to get comfortable with the movement, but your legs are going to be able to handle a lot of it. So great movement. I did them yesterday. Dumbbell balance support reverse lunges. It's a mouthful. Dumbbells in your hand. Something that you can hold on to. The best thing is like a weight tree. If you got to clear some weights off so you can get a handle on here. Dumbbells on this side. And I'm just like this. So that's too far here. Just like this. Nice and controlled. All the way down, touching that knee. 10, 8, 6, or I'm sorry, 12, 10, 8. So 12 on the right. If you got to take a break in between legs, all good, understandable. Moderate progressive load. Leg curls, leg extensions, 10, 8, 6. So see if you can get that 10 set in and then start getting a little heavier on both of those. And then machine calf raise. If you guys got a standing calf, the best. I don't know why they won't put one in the Y. Actually, my Tacoma Y just opened a brand new. I went there today for the first time. It's beautiful. No standing calf. In fact, yeah, I think that they do have a seated calf still though. And then AMRAP, walking lunges times 10, and then broad jump times 2, 4-minute AMRAP. And then moving on to Thursday, back, Chinese warm up again. And then you're gonna go a 12, 10, 8 bent over rows. Remember, this is the ones that the belt would help again, where you jacked your back up here, but make sure you're keeping straight and keeping those elbows tight and keeping that bar right into the waist. So don't pull high, pull low. And I did them today, let that bar drop just a little bit below the knees and pull it right into those hips. Lat pull downs, high lat pull downs with the V bar, pulling right down to the chest, nice and controlled. And then we're gonna go dumbbell lawnmower rows. Remember I said on those, I like to just come up to the rack, hang up out on the rack, hand on the one bell. I pull the one bell off and I'm pulling here right into my hip. So I got that space and I'm pulling right into my hip, but I'm giving myself some support with that other hand. I'm even putting my knee into that other bell. Knee into the bell, hand on the bell, and then I have a little space here and I'm pulling right into the hip. Some guys don't like that because you're sitting on the rack, but don't worry about them. Smith machine hip thrust, okay? This is a little bit of a setup, but this is gonna get a barbell on your hips without having to do all the other jazz. So you're gonna have to roll a bench over to the Smith machine. The Smith machine, you know, the bar that hooks up to the rack. And then get yourself situated so that the bar is here. So your bench is behind the Smith. You're gonna kind of slip under there, and then you're just gonna lift the locks off the Smith machine, and you're gonna be able to hip thrust right there. I did it the other day, and because the one thing was taken up, and it was nice because it's controlled, it's smooth, it locks back in. You don't have to get it up off the floor, such a pain in the butt. 3 times 10, I said 10 to 15 reps on those. Get heavy on them. You're gonna realize you can get heavy on them. Just pad that bar up. And then Roman chair hyperextensions, you know, the pads here on the thighs, pads on the back of the legs here, just hyperextensions like this. See if you can keep the back kind of rounded on these so that when you finish, you're kind of squeezing through your upper glutes. So instead of thinking of it as like a lower back exercise, think of it as an upper glute exercise. Because those upper glutes are connected to that lower back, and they're much more important to strengthen than the lower back like that, in my opinion. Battle ropes, alternating waves, boom, 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 boom. If you have some way to time it, I put 15 on, 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off, 6 rounds there. And then moving on to our last day, Friday, shoulders and buys. Put 4-minute elliptical, you know, just elliptical, just something to get get a little warmth going. I know it's cold there, just to get your arms moving a little bit. I don't know if you ever mess with the elliptical. If you're like, man, I don't want to mess with that, you could get on the treadmill, but just getting your arms moving is what I'm really looking for. If you didn't want to do the elliptical, I think you got a rower, so you could row too. I'm good with that. Just to get those arms kind of moving, just to get that heart rate kind of beating a little bit and get you nice and warm. We're gonna go seated single arm Arnold presses, knuckles forward, press and down, just like that, nice and smooth. 10 to 18 total reps, so 4 sets. So that means like 5 to 9 reps on each arm. I want to push more closer to 18 on that, first, second set, and then you can start kind of dropping those reps and you get a little heavier. Standing bench lean laterals, okay? So, and I put number 7. So you're going to put that incline bench all the way up till it clicks up to number 7, okay? It's almost totally vertical like it is for 8, but there's just a slight lean on it. Depending on the bench, it might slide. So there's one bench that's not really weighted. I'll put a kettlebell kind of as like a little anchor behind it. But I'm going to get up onto that bench so that my chest is leaning on it. Okay, just like that. So if you can kind of picture that here like this, and I'm just going to do laterals just right in front of the mirror. So instead of having the bench looking at the mirror like I'm bench pressing, I'm going to turn that thing around so it's facing away from the mirror. It's right on my chest, and I'm leaning into it doing laterals. I've been doing these for the last couple of weeks, and they feel so good because you're not sitting here trying to support yourself. You're leaned into it, and it allows you to isolate your shoulders a little bit better. And we're going to combo that with bilateral curls. So what I've been doing, I'll do my laterals here with that weight. Sometimes I'll keep those same bells and just leaning into that and curling all the way up. Make sure you're trying to finish, almost trying to squeeze through on these. Same thing on those 10 to 18. I gave you a big range on there, so I want you to be able to start off getting some more reps, and then if you want to get a little heavier, then you can kind of start to drop your reps a little bit. Bench chest supported reverse flies. So that same bench you just got done using, now you're going to flip it back around. You can leave it like that, but your butt's going to be facing the mirror. Flip it back around and drop it down to like a 4 or a 5. So usually when I do incline bench, I do it at a 3. I do it at a 3. This, I do it at about a 4 or 5. I'm going to lean, I'm going to have my dumbbells, kind of funky to get into. I'm going to lean into the bench so that the bench is kind of just sitting into my chest here like this. And then I'm going to do my flies like this. So this is too high. I want it to be like here like this. And this is the same thing. Instead of me here trying to support myself and brace myself, I'm leaning into there. I have that support and I'm doing the flies. Really allows me to isolate those rear delts. And then you'll probably have to get a different set of bells for this because you're going to be light on those. You're going to go alternating hammer curls. So thumbs are coming up. Kept that rep count same, 10 to 18 reps on all the shoulder work and bicep work. Preloaded barbells. You know, the rack of preloaded barbells, actually the new gym, they have preloaded preachers. And then I'm looking around for the preloaded straight bars. They cheaped out. They didn't get them. So weak. But the preloaded preachers, I guess, are all right for like skull crushers, curls. But I like to do these two combos with them. So you're going to go upright rows, okay? Make sure on the upright row that those elbows are driving up high. Barbell's about right here. It's just finishing here. Don't get limp with those wrists. Try and drive those elbows up high. And then keeping that same grip. Depending on the weight you're using on this, you're probably going to have to go to the lighter ones and reverse curls here like that. Really like those. They hit not only the brachialis, but they hit the lower bicep a little bit too. So you're supersetting those two. And then for your finisher there, farmer's carry. I put 40 feet, so I don't know how far that turf is. I think my turf is about 40 feet, so if yours is a little shorter, you might have to go down and back. Heavy dumbbells, you know? Get those dumbbells, something you gotta pick up heavy, and then just walking them down and walking them back. And that grip work and just walking with those bells is gonna be great. 3 total sets. Like I said, something heavy that wants to like maybe even fall out of those hands. All right, brother, that's the program. Hit me up with any questions, and let's get it this month, baby.